Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Backstage Pass. I am your host, Vince Edwards. You may know me from Sound Image Productions, and I also have a couple closed roadie groups on Facebook, one called Death by Loadout, and another one called The Backstage Pass. Come check us out. With me this evening is my dear, good friend and co-host, Kyle Thomas. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Another day, another dog biscuit, Vinny.
Oh, buddy, man, I feel like I could use a dog biscuit or two. I went to the doctor's yesterday for a bunch of old man shit, because I'm old and broken.
Yeah.
And I got a couple jabs in the arm over here, and man, it got inside me. I don't know what the hell. I just feel like I got my ass handed to me. So
You looked a little rough this morning, so he's running. He's been full steam all day, and I'm proud
I've been
of
going
you.
full tilt. That's true. Yeah, but so I've been dragging my ass a little bit. So, but I went and put my head down for about 5 minutes because my guest this evening, and you lovely people deserve more from me. So I tried to just get a little bit energy back because I love what we're doing, and we got a great guest this evening, and I'm here with you. So we're going to have a good show. Thanks for tuning in this evening. How are you tonight, brother?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to thank Ace Anise for last week's show. Lovely to
What's
hear
the guy's
from you
name
guys.
again?
Ace Anise.
Oh, Anise, yeah. See, I told you were going to do that perfect.
Nailed
you
it.
did good, Daddy.
Nailed it.
Now, he's a great guy, 30 years on TV interviewing rock stars and all of his trip, and him coming in and hanging out with us. I kind of knows everybody. I got my friends from the punk rock bands all reaching out, going, oh, I know that guy, because he's always at everybody's shows. And
He's cool, man. Anybody that rolls onto our set with some Paratuck UK creepers, I got some respect for.
Right. Yeah, he was rocking that little that outfit, and yeah, if I had enough sense, I'd probably pull something very similar off, but I can't, so I don't. But yeah, it was a good look, and it was a good guest, and it was lovely to have him on, and we appreciate him coming on. So thank you, Ace. It was lovely to have you, brother.
Yeah, Clockwork Orange story was great to hear. That was so cool.
I don't think there's a bad Clockwork Orange story.
No,
It's
for
just
real.
Fucking Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick, man. It's just gonna be weird.
You don't hear that many stories about it, so it's like, oh shit, of course it'd be this guy.
Yeah, they got a nice rich history pissing people off and set motherfuckers from sea to shining sea. Yeah, they were banned. They made in I think '68 or something like that. And in Britain, I don't think that movie actually officially aired there sometime until the turn of the millennium. I mean, it was banned. It was widely just people freaked out when that movie came out, and there's, for good reason. It's a heavy movie, but it is absolutely a film of all. I mean, just as a document on how to make a film and how to get in people's brains. Stanley Kubrick, yeah, Clockwork Orange, heavy thing.
Totally. And I would just want to say Brad Maddox stopped by today. He just got off his rehearsal run. Came in to say hello.
Yeah, he came in fresh off the plane from, I believe, London. He was doing a thing with Florence and the Machines, extraordinary band, incredibly talented. So, of course, they got the great Brad Maddox on it. I'm under the impression also Gregory Price is finishing up he was doing dual duties. He jumped on at the last minute for Big Mick into Metallica. His office is right here. And then they had a little downtime, and so he jumped back in to do
Alice
Cooper, and is going to ride that one out. And I believe on the 17th, take over full-time as the Metallica guy for the European tour. So he's going to do big shows, and they're going to have Brad's going to be over there kind of in tandem and slowly almost creeping behind him, picking up shows just behind him with Flo and the Machine. So it's two of the best of America's mix engineers who happen to be our dear friends. And
Yeah, we just want to give him some love.
Yeah.
Congratulations on staying so busy, and we're really happy for you guys.
Yeah, safe travels and all that good stuff. Go out and make some memories, make people happy. That's what they do.
Speaking about traveling and staying busy, we have Scott Perlman coming in tomorrow. I kind of dabble with me on the SXL a little bit, I think.
That's exactly what he's going to do. Scotty's coming in from Texas. Dear friend, Kanye, and he's mixed some of the biggest bands in the world, Kiss, Aerosmith. He had the quadruple bypass, so this is a person I love as brother, and can't wait to see him. Actually, my brother is over at, I want to say Oakland or SFO, right?
SFO, picking him up, yeah.
Picking him up as we speak, so I think he'll actually probably pop in before we get off the set here, and it'll be lovely to see him. He's going to be here for a few days. He's going to teach us some stuff. We're going to teach him some stuff. It's what we do here in this business, especially with good friends like Scotty. So it'd be really wonderful to see you, Mr. Perlman.
Yeah, and you've had so many kind words, you and your brother, about Scott, amongst other people in our industry. I'm really looking forward to meeting him. So.
He's a sweetheart of a guy. He's a big bear of a man, and he's got a. You think people like to say I got a deep voice? Wait till you hear Scott, man. It's like I'm freaking tweeting like a little bird
Oh,
compared
you
to
give,
Scott's.
you give Bob Powers a run for his voice, huh? Oh, speaking of which, if
Deep
Bob's
boy.
watching, you broke a chair a couple years ago. We finally fixed your chair, dude. So only Bob's gonna get this.
All
We
right,
fixed
Bob,
your chair,
I want to
and we love you.
apologize from sound minutes that the kid just put you on blast. The man is just a solid hunk of muscle. Bob
He is.
Powers is one of the leading riggers in the world. That's Metallica's rigger, Paul McCartney's rigger. He sat in our chair, he broke it. As a brother, doing us a favor, and then you put him on blast like that. What the fuck, man?
I'm just proud. None of us could
You're
figure out
evil little
this stupid
shit.
chair, and sure enough,
One of the
this
kids,
God.
the Zachy fixed it. The kid
Yeah.
I was playing like I didn't know his name. He's fucking badass. He stepped right to it, and now
right.
we got one of our chairs back.
And thank you, Zach, for
That was
helping out. He's been
a
coming
big
in.
one. I don't even know if Big Daddy saw that because that was one of his office chairs inside his office. And the kid, and that's why we fixed it. We're like, let's get that back in there. You know, he has so many people going in and out of his office at any given time. And it was just, and it needed to be done. And then the kid just stepped right up to it. I threw it down on the floor and rolled in, and he was in there tinkering. So, no, good boy. Thank you, Zachy.
He picks up quick, man.
He's just a
gotta
good
look out
kid.
for him.
He's one of the rare good kids on the planet. And I'm down. I'm super fucking down.
And I'm getting ready to leave and go on the road for 5 months come next month. I can't say who yet, but we'll mention that I'm going to take off for a little bit here.
Yeah, when does that happen again? When do I got to replace you by? Because I'm
Yeah,
gonna miss you.
so
and
you're going to have a
little
short
bastard.
rope. It's the end of next month. I'll be taking off.
We're gonna lose our buddy here. He's done probably 80 shows with me. I don't know what the number is, but it's got to be around that now, right?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, well, you've really been in there, man. And I'm, a little bit of a tilt of the hat to you, buddy. I pulled you in here. Me and Bernie Broderick, the loudspeaker designer legend, good friend of ours, started this up, and then he's just too busy. He was making us that system for Rick Allen from Def Leppard, and so we had to put him back to work. He had a 60 speaker spread to make for that deal, and all custom speakers, and he was just busy. And then we got you in, and you've just been so good and so helpful, and all the guests love you, and it's been a real treat. So I want to thank you for your time with us here doing this. We will miss you. I mean that. When you can share with who you're going out with for 5 months, which is a really great tour. Good for you. I'm really excited for it. We'll do that too. But yeah, it won't be the same without you, buddy.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. And like I said, like I've been saying, I love the stories, so it's my pleasure to come in and help and share in the beginning of the show. It's a part of like me being on the road is always bugging the older guys, like, come on, give me your best stories when I'm bored. So it's like right at home anyways, what we're doing. So.
Yeah, no, you've been great. It's been a real good fit. So it won't, like I said, won't be the same without you. But we always, when you went out with John Legend, when we hooked that up, when George Big Daddy hooked that up, we want you to succeed. We want you to be out there doing what you want. You're the right age. You got the right energy. We've all been there. So we support that completely. And the show will take the hit because the company needs you to do these things, and you want to do these for your career, and we're never here to stifle you. So we're really glad that you got that, and congratulations, bro.
Much appreciated.
All right, bro.
And I want to give a shout out to Ryan Eldridge. He's out with Santana through Sound Image as well. I heard they just got back on the road and things are going well. So just wanted to send him some love. I got Ian Peacock. Your package is on its way, bud. You got some playing cards and a bunch of other stuff, but keep an eye out for your package.
He really went out of his way. Ian's a good friend of ours from Scotland, and he's a dear friend, a true brother. And we wanted to get him some stuff. But Ian, I tell you what, those cards, I only had 2 packs left of the, what are they called? The backstage, whatever this show, Beyond the Backstage Pass
They
cards.
got your face on them, man.
Yeah,
That's
those
all that matters.
Yes, those fucking cards. Like this here, these cards. And we only had 2 packs left, but because we know you're a badass and handy with a deck of cards, we sent you one, buddy. So we hope you enjoy them. And the hoodie and the whatever else he put in the box. So on that swag. And I can't think of a more deserved guy. And I'm gonna put a foot down right here, right now. I'm not sending any more packages overseas. It's fucking, last one I said was like $139. This one was like 90. No, that's it. So yeah, you guys from Japan and Nova Scotia and Britain and Scotland, they got stuff from us. That was love. That's the amount of love we're gonna issue this year.
See, we haven't quite figured out how to monetize stuff. We just like sending gifts, so maybe that'll change soon here.
The folks that support us, we try to support back, and that's always been the relationship, and I'm happy to do that. But yeah, to a point. But I feel like the core of us, the folks that have been supporting us along this long ride, which is, I guess, almost 2 years of doing this, almost every week, we've showed the love, and so I think we probably distributed over 40 hoodies by now. We got 50 shirts coming, by the way. I forgot to mention that. There's 50
nice.
shirts coming. So we'll change gears, and the next thing we'll be sending out is shirts to you folks because we love to.
There you go. So you got the face on the hoodie. Now you're going to have your face on the shirt underneath the hoodie. I see what you're doing here, dude.
I'm not going to be happy until my face is peppered all over most of every given job site. I'm not going to be happy until it's just this big mystery. This
I'm not
giant
happy
head
till
walking
every
up.
fucking tin shed has a sticker of your face on it.
Well, I'm trying to spread that single-handedly and putting stickers on everything. More people are just like, what the hell? No clue what it is, and I'm cool with that.
Hey, so also two of our past guests, John Ostrin and John Lozier, are both out with John Legend. They just hopped in, or maybe are just getting out of rehearsals in Chicago. So we just wanted to congratulate them on going back out.
Two very, very accomplished folks. You know, Ostrin and Legend are both, Van Halen. I mean, their credentials speak for themselves. Wonderful folks. They've been on the show. We wish them nothing but continued success. I mean, and what a class act being out with John Legend. That's a great tour. I know you had your time with him, and yeah, good show, good stuff. So good for them. I hope they're having fun.
Definitely.
And Chicago's a great place to hang, man. Great food, just a great city.
Yeah, it seemed like they're having a really good time. We just wanted to give you some love. We also want to give some love to Dave Shadone, Rob Mailman, and Ralph Wagner. Without you guys, we wouldn't have this gig or have our job place or any of this. So we got to show you some love and just say thank you very much for supporting us and allowing us our space here.
We're very fortunate, and I'd like to include my brother in that. You know, the old pros in the game really are, in my book, are what it's about. You know, that's who it's like some of the names we've mentioned so far, the Greg Prices or our guests this evening. Some of these guys that have been in the game. These people are the people that I respect and love. And Dave Shadone or my brother, folks like that have been doing this for 40 years or more. They're the big daddies. They're the generals, and so we love them. We couldn't do it without them. We appreciate that they let us have this little space and this time to do this and gather these stories and hang with our friends. And so yeah, lots of love to those folks. Just we're really blessed to have a great leadership in our company, and that we get to hang with some of these folks. And we're going to have Dave Shadone on here shortly, I believe May 12th, and he's going to be our 100th guest and talk about a guy who knows where all the bodies are buried, all the good stories. Dave Shadone.
That's the guy.
So, and I got a lot of folks like that come on here, the Dave Morgans, and like I said, our guest this evening, a lot of folks that have really been and done. Scotty Perlman coming in here. That's a 40-year guy right there. But Dave Shadone, man, he's been right in right in the apex of a lot of things that I'd love to discuss with him. So we're going to have him on. It's going to be a treat.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and we got a giant semi in today amongst other things that we were doing, but we got a nice AL12 rig that came in. I think it's 32 tops and 16 subs. All beautiful little system, came with all the amps and everything. We're looking forward to pushing it out on the road pretty soon here. Yeah,
that's a great system, widely accepted as a really strong, lovely system. I think it was out with, I think it had a little time with the Imagine Dragons and just came back from Kendrick Lamar, and now we're going to put it through its paces.
It was Kendrick Lamar, and then it went out with Usher for a little bit.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So this thing is seen and done, and it's a great system, and we're gonna employ it on some big shows we got coming up, and we're super happy to have it in the house. So every time we throw in something new, and it makes me very excited.
I just love seeing new shit in our shop.
Yeah. So this is a great rig, and it will be fun. We got some fun things coming up. We got some stuff down in the Forum and some of the little bit larger houses around here, and we're gonna see what their SPL threshold is. See what they can do with it.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. All right, man. Well, thanks for getting me this far, bro. I appreciate the little piggyback because I needed it.
I got you. I'm going to hop on the comments, so feel free to chat
We can
with
take
me.
care of these people. Thanks, guys, for tuning in this evening. We got a really great guest for you. I appreciate all the appointment viewers and folks that show up actually on time to watch this show. It's really fun for us. We did get a big deal. We got a batch of folks. Look at all the regulars.
Yeah, we got Sue, Jackie Canterbury.
Love of my life, Jackie Canterbury.
Georgie's hopping on.
Scotty Cheney, all the regular crew. It's so nice. Thank you guys for being here. I think we got some fun coming up. Let's get right to it. This evening we have an extraordinary cat on the show. He has done, he has seen, he tends to cover a lot of bases, man. This guy in his career, he's been a tour manager, a promoter, production manager, largely known for taking on what I consider the toughest job in the game, which is the monitor chair. It's the one where you got a lot of people that need things very specifically, that tend to know what they think they need, and can be a little bit hard than being the monitor guy for bands like Five Finger Death Punch, Mastodon. Mastodon, I personally worked with. They can be very demanding and very precise. Jason Bonham, Journey, Def Leppard, Tanya Tucker. The list is so long. UB40, he has been doing this for many, many years. It's somebody that I wanted to have on the show for a long, long time. I want to talk to him about Guns N' Roses and Heart, all kinds of fun things that he's been up to. It is the one, the only, Maxie Williams. Maxie, how are you this evening, my brother?
I'm good, sir. Good, sir. Glad to be on the show.
Really, really happy to have you, sir. Thank you for making time for us. It was really very, very, very kind. You know, here, Maxie, we've done a bunch of these, and it seems like the audience is very interested, and myself too. We're curious about the origin story, buddy. How did you get into the game? What brought you to the industry?
That goes way back to high school. I was in marching band, and I kind of fell over into stage band, and guess what? They had a PA system and a mixing console, and I kind of slid into it and started plugging in speaker cables, and went from $1,000 mixing board to $400,000 consoles, and there you go. Never looked back, dude. I just kind of rolled with it.
Yeah, I know it can
rolled
happen.
out of that into the DJ companies and into doing festivals, small local stuff, and just kept going and growing, making contacts.
Oh, it's so much about the context. I believe you had you had your own lighting company, lighting and sound company, 84 to 92. What was that called?
Maxie Sound and Lighting, yes, in my hometown, Macomb, Mississippi, yes.
What point did you realize
made
that?
a lot of contacts with that company.
Yeah, that was good for you.
I hooked up with Lillian Axe and Zebra and all of the Louisiana big bands that were, making their play.
Yeah.
And just kind of rolled with it.
Well, I mentioned that you early on you messed around with lights and sound, but I think it's a pretty fair statement to say you landed pretty firmly on the audio side of things. Why audio?
Yes, I liked audio. Back then when you had a sound company, you always had to have sound and lighting back then. Now it's a different story, and
sure.
And in the business now, and I just kind of back then I fell into both sides of it. Doing festivals, you always had to have both, and that was coming in the 78, 79 into early 80s there, and you had to have both back then. And I was always kind of rolled into the sound more and the lighting thing, and I was always up on the stage, always doing monitors, and it just kind of fell in there. I like that side of the snake instead of out front.
Right on. Well, yeah, I'm going to dig around a little more in the whole pursuit of doing the monitors thing, but I'm going to kind of bounce around a little bit if you're cool with it, baby. I want to ask you about, I know when we spoke last, in our communication, you were telling us that you were getting ready to go out with you're a monitor guy for Five Finger Death Punch. Now, a lot of us in the game know exactly what that's about. That is a very large band that does big shows. They bring it hard, bring it super hard. You guys getting ready for a world tour? It's my understanding you get ready for a world tour.
Yes, correct. I fly out May 1st, and so we're out till like December 17th. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Old school, big fat tour.
Doing U.S. first, and then over to Europe, doing festivals, and then back to the U.S., doing sheds, and then arenas. So it'll be a long one. It'll be good.
Yeah. How are they as a band and then working for it? Do you guys got a kind of a communication back and forth so they can get what they need from you, and you can have a nice day out there on the, when you're stage right?
Yep, good guys. Ivan is all wedges, and the rest of the guys are all in here. So it's kind of that half and half battle of live and in here. So you got to walk that fine line there back and forth. So Ivan's a good guy to work for. The rest of the guys are all good. I've been with them 2 years, and it's been really good. To look forward to going back with them.
Have you more or less always held down the monitor position? Like when 2006 you were out, and I think it was, or 2002 I think you went out with the Guns, and then you're back out there with 2006. Have you always held down the monitor slot?
Yes, I've always been a monitor guy. I did front house, just a little bit, but I've always enjoyed monitors. definitely.
Well, I've always felt like of the two positions, the monitor is the one that's that's a working job. There's a lot of demands there. You got many folks that tend to think they know what's up and have some very specific needs. So I always felt that that was the guy putting out some of the keeping busiest on any given stage site. Talk to us about Marilyn Manson. It's a very interesting artist. I know you had 3 or 4 years with him, I think.
Oh gosh.
And this was during like the 2000, the millennia right there. So that's just when he was a particular batch of fun doing what he was doing. And was there ever any challenges with that?
Batch of fun, yeah, real quick. Yeah,
imagine he kept
good way to put that.
Yeah.
A batch of fun. I did the front side of it. It was really fun.
Yeah. What was this, like dope show era?
I had a good time with it.
Was this a dope show era?
And
yeah.
Dope show. What was it? God's Guns and Governments, Antichrist Superstars, a couple of them there.
Wow. I mean,
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, you were
right on the
right.
fun side.
Kind of the heyday of the melee, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was. I was in the war zone. I'll put it that way.
Well, I can imagine that artist brings some of his own special challenges, and at that time, I mean, he was bigger than God. No, God would probably not like that reference. You know what I mean? He was killing it, and he was out there. And anybody who knows anything knows that he's a very challenging artist to work for and very demanding. And but I mean, that seemed like that was one of the most impactful times in his career. Did you guys do big shows?
Yeah, when I got on with Manson, we were doing clubs, and then we rolled over into the theaters and stuff. And like I said, I was doing the fun side of it. And then I left and went to Stone Temple Pilots, and Manson was doing arenas. He was doing really well then. And I think Bruce Dan's fell in behind me after that one.
My brother wanted to say hi to you from back in the SEAL days, and I was looking through, and I saw that you had worked with SEAL. I remember taking my my daughter to the first show I ever took. We were doing Stacks and Racks for SEAL, and we brought her there, and she stood there watching SEAL and just cried because he was. I think she was so taken with the power of SEAL doing his thing. You know how SEAL is, and I remember that moment very well. Do you have to Is there any workflow or approach differences, philosophy differences when you're mixing somebody different that is as uniquely different from a Marilyn Manson is doing a guy like SEAL? I mean, what a sweetheart of a man. It's a very different thing. Is there anything that changes in your process when you work with an artist like that?
Well, it's coming on to Manson. Manson was still in wedges, and In-Ear wasn't In-Ear was just coming around. And it was a loud stage then. Maybe that's probably why my ears are screaming right now. And
poor guy.
Yeah, really. I finally got him on In-Ears, and he was still wanting to do both, back and forth. And so it was still a loud stage. Everybody else was on wedges. Ginger was on In-Ears, and you had to jump back and forth between, a loud stage and then a guy wanted to wear In-Ears, and you're kind of fighting that little balance back and forth. SEAL on the other hand, those guys all In-Ear, it was a lot easier to work, nothing live on stage. So it was a lot easier to work with.
Yeah, I bet. A
lot easier.
Yeah, and what a hell of an artist. I mean, he really, that performance, that show is a clean show. He's got just a whole team of hired guns are all, just as good as it gets behind their instruments. So I imagine that probably gives you a lot less challenges. But I was curious, where does the term no feedback Max come from? What's that? Tell me about that. What's that?
Oh, gosh. That was way back in the day. And when, of course, wedges were around, and I would always walk up to the monitor wedges with the 58, and I would always just swipe it in front of the wedges. And I had a couple of guys at the time were like, dude, how do you do that and don't get feedback? And I was just like, it's just a little bit of gain control and working with it. And they're like, you're like, no feedback, man, no feedback, Max. And then they just kind of stuck with that. And Now I walk up to a wedge with a mic and just drop it in there. Anybody's like looking at me like I'm crazy, but it's, I guess it comes with 40 years of doing it. After a while, some of the sound company guys, they'll be looking at you around on the stage and you're dropping a mic in the wedge and they're like, they're all freaking out. But
yeah. I bet the kids trip out hard when they see you do that.
Oh yeah,
Well,
definitely.
as nicknames go, I have one.
Suck though; it's still there.
Yeah, that's a good nickname. No feedback, Max. That's isn't that what we're the goal? I mean, so good for you, brother. That's a good one to have. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think we have a dear friend in common, and want to give a chance to speak about him. It's Charlie. Chopper Brady. Chopper Brady said that he sent me a note to remind you to tell you that he taught you everything he knows. Now, I found that specious. I love me some Chopper. I do. Okay? I mean, he's got Louisiana locked. Yes. That's his stomping grounds. You can't go through, New Orleans or none of that shit without popping in. You got to see. You got to be with Choppy. But he apparently holds you in high regard. You guys go back a ways.
Way back, definitely way back.
Yeah,
definitely.
What is?
Sorry, I'm hoarse here. Oh, my throat is killing me.
Yeah, let's explain to the audience. You had a medical procedure. Was it just yesterday, buddy, Maxie? Yeah, and
day before yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, today, and it involved.
And it was all good. Everything's good.
Yeah, but
I had
there was
6 ulcers. Yeah, I had 6 ulcers in my esophagus, and I've been for 90 days. Been on medication, and I stopped drinking and. It's turned out really, really good. My throat's definitely healing, but it's definitely sore today and yesterday from the procedure. But I'm gonna make it. I'm good.
Right on, buddy. Yeah, getting old, it turns out, is not for sissies, buddy. Have you figured? Yeah, it's coming in hard and fast, brother. I think it feels like I'm about to do a similar procedure, I think, to the one you just endured for similar reasons. And it won't be long before I'll be stopping all kinds of shit too, and life will get, just that much more boring. Again, getting old, not for sissies. Like I mentioned before, I know you've staged.
Sucks.
Toughen up, Powder Puff. You know what I mean? Just like every time when I start to feel a little bit old, I like get in there. All right, man, get back in the fight. This is just part of it. I mentioned before.
I was just over there smiling about this. It's coming, Kyle. It's coming.
He's like, I know, little bastard. He's like 25 years our junior. He has no clue. Yeah, man.
I think Dirk said
it's coming, bud.
You're fucking younger than like the sperm that comes out of something. I'm like, damn, you're right.
Dirk said that. Dirk Schubert said that.
I mean, shit. These guys have more like experience than I do. Than I've lived my whole life.
That's hilarious. Yeah. You can't. When Dirk Schubert starts wandering, waving around his experience card, just sit back and let it happen because he's gonna dust all of us. He's just gonna blow us all off. So you never had any. There seems to be, from what I've experienced, there seems to be this kind of thing about making their way out to front of house, like that's the final destination, And I always thought that was kind of a Faustian bargain. It wasn't always exactly what is supposed to be. I think it's a character thing.
I'm allergic to front house.
Yeah, see. So I get it. I get why a lot of people want to end up there, and then they imagine that there's this stair-step process. But to me, these are just controlling 2 different systems and for 2 very different personality types. And I've always felt like a monitor guy was a different guy than a front of house guy. Like just as a character, just as the nature and the makeup of a monitor guy. What do you think makes it so you're really one of the top guys in the monitor game, man? I mean, what do you think is the separation? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a specious argument. I'm making a hyperbole here, or doesn't make sense. But is it just me, or is there a difference between a great monitor guy and a great front of house engineer?
You brought up a really good point, but I've never felt comfortable out front. It's like I like the challenge on deck. I like dealing direct with the artist, and it's always been a special point to just be there on stage. But I know guys that do both sides of the snake, and me personally, I like it on deck. It's always a challenge every night. You're right there with the artist dealing with everything and stuff, and I kind of look back at front house and I go, It's left and right. I got 20 left and rights. I'm not knocking the fun out of guys.
Yeah, you tell him, Maxie. That's exactly right. That's exactly my take on it
Mathematics,
too.
I love you, brother. I love you.
That's hilarious, man.
They're gonna rag on me fucking so hard.
Oh, dude, I want to. Yeah, you know, Brad. He's the first person. If he's got something on his mind, he ain't holding it in. He's gonna say something. But yeah, they're a special breed, those folks. Working for Mastodon. Now, I've done Mastodon back in the day. I want to say 2007 or 8, like that. We were out with them for a batch. What's that, Bubba?
Oh, you just keep on rubbing your mic.
I'm just touching it up,
I
baby.
know you're just very touchy today.
Sorry, yeah, look, so's Maxie.
Sound guy thing.
It's my show, man. Fuck it, I'm gonna play
This
with
whole
the
time
mic.
he's been rubbing his fucking hands on him like, do I slap his hand? Do I leave it alone?
I didn't even notice, man. I am so, yeah, all right. You guys, thank you for bearing with me. So working with Mastodon, you know, one hell of a metal. I mean, this is a band that really, I mean, their show is something to see. They bring it super hard. I was curious, you know, some of the bands, we were talking STP a minute ago. You did 4 years, I think, with STP.
I did 16 with STP.
16 years, Maxie. Jesus Christ, buddy.
16 years, yeah.
So was this both
I was with
incarnations?
Scott all the way to the end.
Really?
Yeah, I was with, that was a long time, good shows. I was with Scott all the way to the end. I stopped for a while because I went to the Hard Rock and I came off the road, and I was working at Hard Rock Life here in Biloxi. And as soon as I left the Hard Rock at 14, Scott called me and I went right back out with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was with him with his last band there all the way to the end, and good guy, great guys to work for. Enjoyed it, had a good time with them.
Yeah, it's such a tragedy.
Great guys.
Him going away like that. He was truly one of the best rock and roll singers on the planet, and such a loss to the system. And did that make you feel some kind of way? I know we've all had. You know, you mentioned Brad Mannix. He was out with. What the hell are they called?
Van Halen?
No. When they lost
Linkin
a
Park?
singer. Linkin Park. He was out with Linkin Park when their singer passed. And I remember the day he came in and that kicked his ass. I mean, he was really, that was a hard one for him. What was it? I mean, how is it to lose your main artist to some bullshit like that? Is this, was that an emotional moment for you?
Yeah, that was a hard day, hard night actually.
Yeah.
I was losing your boss, a good friend, and having to call his wife is it was tough. It was a hard night there.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but the hair's up.
Scott led a hard life, and he, you know, we kind of knew that one day that might come. It's just expecting when that might come, and it was that was a really damn hard day. I will be honest. Every time I hear a song, it's just like it's right there in the heart, dude. Scott was a good guy. I enjoyed it. He was a really, really good guy to work for.
Yeah, it's stuff you can hold in your heart. You got him forever in there, you know, and it's a tough break. Some of these creative folks have got some other things they're dealing with, and it's not always as easy as it appears on the surface. So, you know, hats off to you for that one, buddy. You know, he did some amazing things. The effort that he put out towards the end there with that 4 years he did with Velvet Underground was extraordinary. And, you know, luckily we have folks like him or the Linkin Park folks or other folks that have went away. We have their, we were listening to NXS in here yesterday, and we were kind of tripping on how, you know, all that great work they left behind, but how Michael had went off. And I guess that's the takeaway, is that at least we have their recorded work to refer to and enjoy, and, you know, kind of have the memories of that. Let me ask you, what's your credit? You know, I mentioned you worked with a lot of folks, a lot of really extremely talented, wonderful people. What is the criteria that you use to pick a project or a job? So when you decide to go out, what is the math on that?
As far as like choosing an artist, or
Yes,
phone call that you get from a production manager?
Well, you know, how do you choose a
Calling you on
project?
the gig.
I imagine you're a guy that's, you know, pretty highly sought after, and you know, do you have a thing? Is it about what you think you can bring to the team? Do you do it based on a love for the music, or one way or another? Or is it just a business decision, and you know, what's the longest tour?
Probably in the last, I don't know, last 15 years, it's a lot of just a business decision. And, you know, you get that phone call from a production manager or a friend,
Sure.
you know, turning you on to that really good gig. And sometimes it's the artist. I really like, you know, depending who it might be. But most of the time it's business and it's work, and it's, you know, to make that paycheck and stay out on the road. And a ton of us have been off for 2 years, and I'm very happy to go back to work May 1. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Is this May 1?
So
Is this you?
It's
Is this you back to work?
May
for
1.
the first time?
May 1st is Five Finger. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah,
buddy.
I've been doing a lot of local stuff, but May 1st is Five Finger, and it'll be the first tour. Yes, definitely.
Wow, good for you, man. I bet you really excited to get back on the horse, get out there. How's things been going at home? You know,
Definitely on that.
our other halves weren't really used to us being around so much. Did you make that work okay?
Say again?
I said, you know, our other halves weren't used to us being around so much. So this last 2 years had been probably different for you and your family, you know, having you around so much, and, you know, Papa being in the house. How was that? How did that all work out? Was it a good time to, you know, catch back up with the family, or have you been waiting and chopping at the path to get back out there and do what you do?
The first May 9th, no, was it March 9th? All around that week of March 9th, it's like everybody was losing their jobs, tours were canceling and stuff like that. And it was, you didn't think about it at first. And then a week and 2 weeks later, you go, I don't have a job anymore. And then you go, oh, wait, a month later, you go, oh, the industry has completely shut down. And then you just kind of sit around, you're kind of numb about it. And then at the second month, I was just like, you know what, forget this. And I started looking for other stuff and started hustling and looking around for other things that I used to do. Dude, I worked on boats. I've been refueling AT&T cell towers, generators. Wow. I did everything this past 2 years except run sound.
Wow, buddy. Wow.
Definitely. I jumped around and did everything. I mean, I was turning wrenches. I was pressure washing houses. I was doing a lot of stuff to make $1.
I'm impressed, brother. That is a slightly different story than some that I've heard, and it sounds like you're a man that just kept doing what a man does, which is providing for his family, fighting through the weirdness, and making it to the other side. I'm glad to see you made it, brother, and that you're getting back to what makes you happy and what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know it's been a tough time. It's been tough for a lot of us, and it sounds like you weathered it like a badass. Maxie, you got I know you've done a lot of extensive touring, and I'm always curious what folks like yourself that have a long career of touring, what they do on their downtime when they're out. Do you have any kind of rituals that you like to pursue? Is it food? Do you like to go out and look at the sites? How do you spend your time when you're not gigging but you're out on the road?
Everybody's gonna laugh about this because 90% of everybody that knows me, when I get off a plane, I come home and I go to the boat. I head to the Gulf. That boat is my Joel Lonkey. Joel gets in an airplane and he flies. Me, I get in a boat.
Yeah,
I get in a boat and go out to the island.
That's your happy spot.
Go out and chill. In fact, I went to Key West and I got to hang out on Jerry Harvey's new boat, and I had a really good time down there. I was down there for like 5 days, and it's the water and being on a boat is definitely the spot that I go hide at.
Well, yeah, no, there's something about the water is a very calming and a cathartic experience for sure. I totally get it. We just, Maxie, we just had a couple folks walk in the shop here. We've got the great Scotty Perlman. Sky.
Hey,
Big Daddy. How are you, man? Scotty Perlman's here, and there's we got George Edwards sitting here in the guest chair. That's big. Maxie, can you see him?
Nice.
Yeah, he wants to say hi.
I just see your set. I just see your set.
It's been since me, you, Todd Goldstein, and Seal.
He's referring back to the times I guess you guys were hanging out. You were doing some SEAL work together, and he was Todd Goldstein and SEAL. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's doing the memory lane, and as I can see the gears changing in his head.
You made him change color, man. That wasn't good.
We all got a little older.
Yeah, that's for real.
All right, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, I think we all do. Their old gray hair. Or it's falling out one.
Even though he's got a ton of it, it's all gray. But he's got a shitload of hair. I don't know what this is about. I've been so jealous of him. Man. He's got the greatest hair. He's just lucky bastard.
Tell him good to see him.
Yeah, he says good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that was ran away from us. I noticed you had been nominated for many things and won many awards. What's it like winning Monitor of the Year Parnelli, buddy? You got it back in 2002. Was that for the whole year, or was this for a specific tour? What were you doing?
I got nominated. I did not win. I lost to what was his? Oh man. I didn't win. I got nominated. I've been nominated twice.
You were robbed.
And in fact, I said something to Dave Stone about that. I was like, man, I get nominated, but I never win. I'm like, boo.
I was talking to Dave, and he loves what we do here, but he said that he thought it was inappropriate that a batch of the folks that had come up through here that he had worked with that don't give him the proper credit, and I think he's right about that, goddammit. So, if there's any love you want to send to the big man, please do right now. David should know. So you mentioned that you have artists that you've worked with that have had the package where they've got wedges on board and ears on the deck. Do you find that it's easier to do a wedge mix or these packages where you've got the a combination of the two, or the ears mix?
So nowadays, I mean, I prefer all in ear, but I'm half and half with 5 finger, and I mean, I'm settled in with that. It's all clear. I use all cohesion wedges and side fills, and it's I don't really have any. I'm kind of. At first, it was a little bit of a challenge, but I've gotten really dialed in with Ivan, and it's me and him get along, and I'm just going to say it's a smooth sail. I'll cross my fingers when I say that, but right now it's really good. So,
do you not got any
all
wood?
the in here with the. Yeah, I got one.
Smart ass.
I want him to be okay. I want him to be okay out there. So I just remind him about the wood trick because I don't want no weirdness jumping out on him. He went, juju'd himself. That's all. That's all that is.
There you go. Vince is superstitious.
Yeah,
Not everybody knows.
a little bit. Working with.
It's his 1 weak point.
Working with the great Peter Frampton, when we were kids, that Comes Alive was, I think they just issued that as you moved into the suburbs. It was just put into your mailbox and everybody had it. What was it like working with the great Peter Frampton?
I was on Jason Bottom, and we were opening for them, and I was doing monitors for Jason Bottom, and it was that whole camp. That was a good tour, a good run. I enjoyed it.
Was this were you out with
Jason Bottom?
Chad Oledge? Was this the Chad Oledge thing, Junior?
Chad was on that. Boz was mixing front house. Jim Yakubowski was there. He was mixing front house for Peter Frampton, and I'm having brain fart tonight. I can't even remember anybody's name anymore. See, I hadn't been on the road so long. I forgot everybody's name. It'll come to me in a second. Was doing monitors on Peter Frampton. I'll think of it in a second.
I'm always blown by the folks that come on the show, and I've had Dave Morgan on, the great Dave Morgan, and he sat here for an hour and recited everybody I think he ever worked with, and I just don't know how people can store up that kind of information. It was extraordinarily impressive. So don't you feel bad, because I'm more in your camp where that's not instant recall doesn't always work so good. It's just it's a little bit too much. What was your favorite experience out on the road? You got any? Is there a part of this job that you would consider your favorite part of it? Is it the travel? Is it the music? Is it the tech?
I would definitely say between getting to see the what was it way back in the day when MTV first came online. One of their crew guys made a comment about getting paid to see the world and the travel and being on stage. And I like right when the house lights go down and stuff like that. You look around and you got some sweaty palms and you're just ready for the show and stuff like that. And I still get that feeling, I mean, here I'm 40 plus years mixing sound, and I haven't gotten tired of it yet. As long as my ears hold out. So we'll see how that goes.
Do you use any ear protection? Do you use ear protection?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good man.
It's weird. I'll walk up to my monitor board. I won't even be mixing sound, and I'll throw my ears in, and I'll just have the cable and throw it in my pocket. But I use them, as earplugs. If I'm up on the deck and I'm not mixing sound and stuff like that, yeah, I'm definitely. You have to these days, dude, because it's your ears are ringing and stuff like that. I have tinnitus now. It's like if I'm in a silent room and my ears are screaming.
Oh, that's rough, brother.
After 40 years.
Yeah.
It takes a toll, man. It takes a toll.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm always blown by what's happening, guys. Hang on, Maxie. We got a little technical thing going on. We're good? Well, I can't hear Maxie, so I'm not good. Oh, guys, I got a red
can't hear them. Turn them up.
Maxie, the guys, I think, sent me out here with bad batteries. I love them, though, Max. It's, the kids. We got to do it with them together. Bring me some batteries, will you, guys? Thank you, little brother.
That's so awesome.
So that's what it's like doing the live show, Maxie.
Changing batteries in the middle of the show. That's awesome.
Yeah. That was a roadie moment right there, Maxie. Somebody was supposed to come up behind me and do this. I actually changed my own batteries. Man, I got to train this guy now, right? I just roadied my own roadieing. That was fully unacceptable.
Do you remember the time your pack fell off your ass and I fucking had to slink under the chair?
We've had a couple. So, Maxie, we've had a couple moments on the show, is what he's referring to, where that happens.
We've had some good ones.
Thank you for bearing with me, buddy. 2017, you were out with the great UB40 mixing mons for that. What's it like doing a band? So that's a legendary act. What was it like working out with the great UB40?
UB40 was a very good band. I had a really good time with those guys. I didn't think I was when I first got out there. I was like, man, I'd always heard their music and stuff like that. And I landed the job, got called on the job, and I got out there. And first 2 or 3 days they were a little tough. And we got dialed in. We were doing a run with it was 2 buses in our trailer, and we were doing theaters. And after I got them dialed in, a week later, things started falling in place, and they were a bunch of really, really good guys. It's 3 original members, and then all of the band guys are all they were session musicians from there in London, and that band was really tight, really good guys.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Super tight.
And working with the great Dolly Parton, now that's a legendary. I mean, she's a national treasure, for Christ's sake. Any kind of special
Dolly?
Yeah, tell us about Dolly, buddy. Get to hang out with Dolly Parton.
What's funny is
kind of a thing.
I'm running sound for Dolly on Sunday. I get to see her. I haven't seen her in 4 years. She hadn't toured in a long time, and she's doing a fundraiser up in North Mississippi in Oxford. And I got called on the gig, so we load in on Saturday and doing the gig on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to it again. That's the definitely can say Dolly's. She's at the top of the list. Good lady to work for. She's if everybody had a Dolly as a boss, this world would be a lot better. And that is hands down. Good lady to work for. Very honest.
Yeah.
Very honest.
Yeah, I would think that's just that old school approach. That's always seemed to be her way. Is just top class and an extraordinary woman. Was it 50 years in the business? My God, that's just extraordinary.
Yeah, she's 76.
And then there's
76.
That's amazing. That is breathtaking information. It's hard to really even imagine because I just saw her do something recently, and I would have never guessed 76. I don't think anybody could have out there. That's extraordinary. I think the new 60 is the new 70 or 70 is the new 60 or something like that. It's a very crazy time. I noticed that You've done a lot of senior production manager, like you said, Hard Rock Live, Biloxi, and Gulfport. You really got that whole the Gulf on lock, buddy. How did you like managing venues and coming from it that side, as opposed to actually turning knobs and pushing faders? Was that a fit for you?
I got a phone call on that, and I was in my mid 40s, and I got call from Greg Jaffria. He was one of the owners and asked me if I wanted to come be the senior production manager. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know what, maybe that'll be a good place to retire. And so I tried it out for 10 years and it worked out for about 8 years. I won't comment on the last 2 years.
You're too nice.
Wasn't too bad, but it was a learning experience in the corporate world. I will say that for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
But I tried it out and I missed mixing sound. And so I got to 2014 and I made a decision. And so I came back out on the road for sure. That was where I wanted to be for sure, definitely. Not in an office. I'm not an office guy.
Yeah, so it's more of a fit. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I think a lot of us have that nomadness and we just need to express it. You know, buddy, you've had such an amazing career track. You've done so many things. You've worked with amazing artists. You certainly jumped between a couple of the production manager sites, stage manager, and of course, monitor engineer. A lot of the kids would love to have a trajectory of a career like this. What kind of advice? You know, we've got a lot of youngsters coming around in this thing. They come up through these little production, classes in schools like the SE and Full Sail. What kind of advice would you have for a young person coming up in the industry for them to be successful, to maybe get on track to a kind of a career like that you have had?
You know, when I was in school, we didn't have Full Sail. I mean, I didn't ever think I would get this far coming out of, high school. And I fell into this from, being in stage band and stuff like that. And I would say now that Full Sail's there, that's an awesome facility, awesome place. And in fact, I think a couple of decks that I had out on Ozfest are actually teaching there. I think Sheldon, it's a couple other guys that are down there. But stay with it. It is hard. It's one of those things where I wonder back when I was probably in my mid-30s, I'd go, why am I out here? Or why am I killing myself doing this? And in my I would definitely say mid-30s, I finally decided, I think I'm going to stay out here and this is what I want to do. So it's a good place to be. Hang with it. It is tough. And it's get off your phone. Don't look down at your phone. Those things will get you in trouble.
I got to tell you,
Is Kyle on his phone over there?
Of course he's on his phone.
This is the only way I
Yes,
can
he's
look
on
at
his
a
phone,
comment
dude.
separately. So unfortunately, I have to triple task.
That's what it is. No, he's right. I'm going to defend him right now because I want to bust his ass for because this is what old guys do to young guys. But he actually is handling comments on many different platforms. On Facebook, on YouTube, and so that's the way he gets it done.
Yeah, one of them freezes always, so I got to pull it up on my phone until it catches back up.
And I appreciate you handling the comments for the kids. They appreciate it too. But I'm with you on that too. I have noticed that there seems to be this thing with, you see it with the audience members where they're watching the show through their phone as they're recording it, and this is thousands of people, in the first 15 rows. It's a really unique. I'm not sure what to make of it. I'm not sure what's happening to the experience. I get that the phone took over in the sense for the lighter, but to take over as your viewing experience that you're watching this thing that's actually in front of you through a 4-inch screen is just mind-boggling to me. So I don't quite understand that. But that's really good advice. You're absolutely right. Situational awareness, keeping your head in the game. The show's in front of you, not on your phone, and the work is the work. So I think that's really strong advice. You're coming out in was it May 7th, boss? What was the date on May when you're coming out?
Fly out. We start rehearsals May 2nd. I fly out May 1st, and we'll be in Las Vegas doing rehearsals and. We pick up on some festivals, and then we go to Europe 1st of June, and we're in Europe doing festivals June, July, and then back over here doing U.S. sheds with, I think we're carrying Megadeth is with us and 2 other bands I haven't heard yet. And then we change over to arenas, I think October, November, December, something like that.
So glad. That sounds like a really full schedule. It sounds like you've got your dance card filled for the next many months. That is going to be a lot of fun. We will.
I'm glad. I'm so glad.
Right.
It's like chill balls. I'm so glad to get back out on the road. I didn't think I'd ever say that in my life, but I'm really ready to go back out.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an absolute waste to not have a person of your talent, your caliber, not doing what you do. And I'm really glad to hear that, that things are coming back online so we can all kind of start getting back into what we do. Do you see any, from what you're hearing in your lay of the land, do you have a sense of what the future holds for the industry? Do you think we're coming back full, guns, or what's your impression of the thing?
I'm thinking we're coming back. I don't want COVID to come back around anymore. I'm over that.
Yeah.
So if we can stay out of a war and no more COVID, I think we're good to go here for a while.
That's a
We
good.
need several years more. We need some years of work here. Everybody's starving to death, so we all need to go back to work.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go back to work, so
Well,
I'm happy when I look on Facebook and I see all my buddies posting everything of this show, that show, the road, pictures from the front of the bus. It's just, it's good to see that stuff.
Yeah, but I think I tend to agree with you. I think that folks have gotten a little stir crazy, a little bit cabin feverish, and they're looking for that action. That is a good event, and I know us as workers, we're looking for just to feed our families and do what we love. So I'm really glad to hear that you're landing on your feet, buddy. It sounds like you did exactly what you had to do to get from A to B. We're at B now. Go out there and practice your art, do your magic, and make people have we build memories. That's the job, buddy. And I'm hoping that when you guys come through town, we'll get a chance to pop in and see you. You guys go out and check out Maxie with Five Finger Death Punch. He's going to make it so you're going to go see a good show. They don't do it half-assed. Five Finger Death Punch brings a full-on tour. It's going to be out with some great bands. Maxie, we super appreciate you coming on the show, being our guest this evening, sharing your experiences. We wish you tons of luck going forward. And you're a brother and a half, man. We appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much.
Enjoyed it, guys. Enjoy the show a lot. Thank you. Thanks for calling me. Thanks for reaching out. I enjoyed it very much. Definitely.
You're the best, buddy. I appreciate you, pal. You be well. Well, guys, we had Maxie Williams on. I've been wanting to get him on for a minute now. He's got a crazy. He mentioned he was out of work for a minute, but if you look at his career trajectory, he was a guy that is working at all times. I mean, it's just been busy basically for the last 40 years, and it's an impressive achievement. And it's really very nice to have him on the show. Guys, we do this every week because we love what we do, and we're lucky enough to have a little extra gear and a little extra time, so we come out and do it. Next week we're going to have the one and only Ken Newman on. Ken, this is a guy that's got a really unique lane in the business. He handles artists like Stevie Nicks, Burt Bacharach, and of course he's widely known for Barry Manilow. He's got that that kind of adult listening lane, and he's been doing this for 45, almost 50 years. I think Greg Price was telling me that one of the first jobs that Greg Price ever got, Kenny got for him. Wow. So it'd be nice to have Ken on the show. And we're going to pick his brain a little bitty bit. But until then, we come out, we do this for you. We hope that you guys enjoy our little effort. We appreciate you coming in, tuning in. I want to send out some love to all of our appointment viewers, the Susan Kearneys and the Charlie Zaricki, of course, and my one and only true love, Jackie Canterbury, the love of my life. And of course, the Scott Chaney and the rest of you guys. Thanks for coming and checking us out. We're going to do it again next week. We got the great Kenny Newman. Please come and find us. Until then, behave, be well, be good, all that stuff. And we'll see you next week. Good night.